thank you for tuning in today for our third interview for Insurance Careers Month. Today, we are talking to Nancy Buechler, who is the Director of Social Media at Northern Neck Insurance. I hope you learned something new. Nancy, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do with Northern Neck and tell us a little bit about your company as well?
Okay, sure. So I am the Director of Social Media for Northern Neck Insurance. We are a Virginia-only mutual insurer in Virginia. And I am in charge of all of our social channels. So we are on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, all the typical ones. And then as I also do a lot of work with our website development, and I'm probably the primary blogger at this point for the website. So I also am involved with our reviews, our online reviews. We are extremely, probably one of the things that is important to our brand is the claims experience, because what we found is that that's often one of you can either make a really great impression or you can really make turn people off or away if they don't have a good claims experience, right? Because you pay for insurance, but you when it comes, you kind of pay for it and then forget about it. But then when you have a claim, you really want it to show up and be great. And It's stressful. A claims experience is stressful. So we have an incredible claims team. And when I came on about 5 years ago, what I found was we weren't talking enough about what a great claims experience we deliver. So part of that process is reviews, answering negative ones, because we all have them. Every brand has them, and you have to be responsive, but also making sure that you get out the good news and tell people about the great claims experiences that people have. So that's a whole nother side to my job that I do work on. But my primary role is Director of Social Media. So managing those accounts, posting content, engaging. So.
Okay. Yeah. And are you doing blog posts every month, or how frequently do you guys post a blog?
So when I first came on, we didn't really have a blog at all. In fact, I developed it, and we did all the content mining for, what do we need? I mean, we're really starting from scratch. You can have, those great basic posts like, what does home insurance cover? Everything from that to, what's an ice dam? And if I have it, what do I do about it?
Right.
And then from there, we are actually consulting and working with a local SEO company in downtown Richmond. And they help us with some of the SEO content searching. So keyword searching, so that we know, what do they want to know? What are people searching answers to about insurance on Google? And they kind of do a little bit of the legwork for us there and give us some pointers. And then from there, you determine, what's the title of your blog? That's important too, that they use those keywords, and that it's just like I said, it's answering questions that people want to know. It has a lot of relevancy. Google likes relevancy. So it's timing, time of year, seasonality, all that kind of thing.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
It's something we're interested in getting into a little bit later. We're not there yet, but
awesome.
So is this what you plan to do career-wise? Does your degree match up, or is this something you just kind of happen to start doing?
So yeah, I am a teacher by trade. I have my master's in middle education, believe it or not. And I took a break from teaching to raise children. And when my children were in high school, I started to substitute teach because I was thinking, I'd be getting back into the classroom. And I kind of went through a feeling when I did it that I just wasn't really feeling it. I just didn't really feel called back. I kind of like the idea of business and of trying something completely different. So it was partly just networking with somebody in my community and finding out about an opportunity to work for, actually, it was a company that did helped independent agents with ads on Facebook. And so that's where I started. And then I was hired as a consultant through that company to work for Northern Neck Insurance. And in that relationship, they decided they wanted to hire someone to manage their social media accounts. So I started working on that. And within about a year, Northern Neck Insurance offered me employment directly with them. So that's it kind of just evolved. And I don't have a big marketing background. I certainly don't have a degree in it, but I'm a sponge and I enjoy it that so much that I have just learned everything that I can learn. I've gotten certifications through Google Analytics and Google Ads, and I've gotten a Hootsuite certification. Hootsuite is the software that we use to schedule our content. So they offer social media certifications. So I've just gotten certifications and learned as much as I could. And I love it. It's fun. It's exciting. I never thought of myself as a really great writer, but I have also learned how to do that pretty well through blogging, and done some work to learn how to do that as well. So yeah, it's exciting,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good transition to our next question too. So, you said you're a sponge and you absorb the information, so you're a lifelong learner. What skills do you think that somebody should look for in themselves or be prepared to build if they want to do what you do?
So I would definitely say with social media, with really almost anything digital, you need a team that's willing to be flexible and willing to be able to be kind of on 24/7. Especially for our company, we really have utilized the digital channels that allow us to message with people. I'm sorry, I have a bird.
I heard it. I was wondering if that's.
So I'm sorry if you're hearing a bird while we're recording, but
what kind of bird?
Oh, it's a cockatiel.
Oh,
he's calling my daughter, his mom. He's calling her. So
okay.
But yeah, I would say just be able to be, on 24/7. It's kind of that type of, at least if you have a team, you take turns and have somebody that's going to be able to be responsive, because that's the whole point of digital messaging, is to have, accurate, relevant, on time information for your customer. So that's how we've utilized it. And it's been great. It's been wonderful. But I do think you have to be, especially right now with COVID, even more so, you kind of have to be self-driven, I would say. And that's probably true of really any job. But I have actually been remote from the beginning. So I was remote before COVID. So while I watched my whole team adjust to this weird, do I get dressed? I already had kind of gone through that and done that. So so I would just say be able to just be on time, responsive to those social sites as much as you possibly can. I don't know, if you're dabbling in it or someone that's new to this, you'll notice that, especially like Facebook will give you a badge for responsiveness. So people see that when they go to your page and they're really in a bind, especially when it comes to insurance, because, oftentimes claims happen all times of the day. They may be desperate and really need somebody to talk to and get them the right help. So I'm not a licensed person to talk to, but I can certainly get them to somebody and listen to them and say, yeah, we've got you, and then get them to the help they need.
They were here for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense. So you kind of touched on this already, but what 3 activities would you say take up the majority of your time when you're working?
Oh boy. Number 1 is content mining. Whether it be curated content. So, just sharing content from other really great sources, or original content. So we just finished, last week, we did a whole Valentine's week pre-week of fun. And we integrate insurance information in there, but insurance isn't really fun. It's kind of boring. So we find ways to make it integrate in. So for example, we had some giveaways. We gave away some chocolate.
Mhm.
We had a few quizzes. We actually do have a cyber insurance product. So one of our quizzes was about how there are a lot of romance scams out there, actually, in apps and with people meeting people that are not who they say they are. So we integrated that into a little quiz, and just for participating and engaging in the quiz, we gave away a box of chocolates, and then we gave away a Virginia's for Lovers sweatshirt at the end. And we did a kindness challenge, so we asked people to show love to somebody, a neighbor, or whoever sometime during the week, and just tell us about it. So it takes time to develop that kind of content, especially if it's like a campaign that's a week long.
Mhm.
I work closely with my team to bounce ideas, but also with our graphic designer, Mike Antonio. He creates all the graphics for it. So he and I have to work closely to develop those and make sure the wording's right and, how this is all going to work. So I would definitely, content is number one. It takes up a ton of my time. And then I would probably say number two is engagement, is just whether that be the social listening component, where I'm actually on those channels, looking at what other people are saying, or, jumping into a conversation, but definitely responding to whatever people engage with on our channels, and looking for someone new to follow. I think the key, and I would say for, anybody who's working, like, let's say you're a small independent agent, and you're looking for a way to, because it's so daunting. Social media is so daunting. But I've talked to a few agents before and recommended, look for opportunities to engage, but look for things locally that are just going around you, and look for ways to help out your community and promote things, or talk about your farmers market, or someone in your community that's making a difference in some way, or your local food banks. We've gotten really involved with that this year since COVID hit. So that's probably number two, would be engagement and just looking for, having a presence online. And then number three, I would have to say, is probably the blogging component, is looking for content there, and writing.
Okay. Yeah, I would imagine that would take up some time, the
Yes.
blogging part. Okay, so are there any myths or common misconceptions about your job that you would like to clear up? Is there anything that you've heard?
Well, I have to say this. I think social media gets a really bad rap, and I totally understand why. I mean, it's true. There's just a lot of negativity. You can see some pretty, sad and awful things on there. But I think probably the biggest myth is that, one, you can't have a positive experience with it, because I do think there's a lot of good as well. And two, that, I've a lot of the time along the way, when I first started out, I read and heard that you can't have organic results when you use social media. So, in other words, you can't get on Facebook and really have a presence and make an impact and let people see your feed or your posts without paying Facebook to do it, or paying Twitter, or paying for Google ads.
Mm-hmm.
And I think probably for the most part, that is true. But I think if you're a local brand, which we are, and independent agents are, I think you really can. I think because it kind of creates a small online community around you. And I think you can have success on Facebook. We actually kind of decided, at least for the second half of 2020 and for this year that we are going to not spend money on advertising with Facebook until we feel like we can do it ethically, and we're sure that we can assure our followers and our customers, our members, that we're sure that it's ethical. And that comes because of, Facebook has been scrutinized, Google's been scrutinized for good reason. So I would say that it's okay to stick with organic and not spend a lot of ad money. And I do think that you shouldn't spend money on ads unless you really, really know what you're doing. And you probably consult someone that's going to be able to give you some direction with it so you don't waste your money.
That's good advice. And I also agree with, you can definitely use social media to spread positive messages and community, events or what's going on in the community. It can be used for good, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So what advice would you give somebody who is looking to get into working in marketing for an insurance company?
I would say, obviously, if you're young and you're, coming out of school or you're in school, do an internship, do a summer internship. Social media, a lot of companies have a hard time finding a budget for it. And that's partly because there's a little bit of a, learning curve with, I would say probably with maybe a company understanding the value and maybe the purpose of social media and where that falls within, because you can spend advertising money and do a lot of other things in other places, but we really live in a digital age. So I would say that a lot of companies look for, interns and young people and people to come in that can do content curation and posting and that sort of thing. I would think that would be a great opportunity to get your feet wet, to try it out, to see if it's something that you enjoy and you like. And then, obviously, if you went to school, you can, I would probably get a degree, look for a degree in business or in marketing with a minor in marketing. I know we have had, before COVID, we did regular visits to VCU's business. They would have a business job fair, and we were always there and looking for and giving, presenting those types of opportunities. So go to a job fair, and look for, if you're in school, go look for opportunities for internship over the summer.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
This has been some wonderful advice. I just wanted to give you a chance to add anything, if there's anything I haven't asked about that you would like to add that you want our viewers to know. Is there anything that you would add to this interview?
No, it's a fun career. It's a fun job. I love my job at Northern Neck Insurance. I work for a wonderful company. And so I just think it's exciting and fun. And I would encourage you to learn all you can learn and just take a big leap into it and immerse yourself in it. There's so much out there to help you learn. And I'm here anytime. Reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you.
Awesome. All right. Well, this has been an interview with Nancy Buechler. She is the social media director for Northern Neck Insurance of Virginia. And thank you all for tuning in. We hope that you continue to watch and we hope you're learning something new.